Hi, this is Greg McIntyre
And
with
this,
the I'm sorry.
and this is Jennifer Childers.
And this is Jennifer Childers with McIntyre Elder Law, and this is our McIntyre video Elder Law video blog and the McIntyre Elder Law report. And Jennifer and I have just finished having a conversation, and I wanted to talk about it about doing legacy videos, which is something that Jennifer and her staff are going to help us bring as a new service to our clients. And Jennifer, what do you think, or what's a legacy video?
A legacy video is your story brought to life. It can be anything from just words of wisdom, a tale about your childhood, something you want your loved ones and family to remember about you.
Okay. So, have you ever seen the movie Brewster's Millions?
Absolutely.
That's what I always think of. I always talk about it. I always think of that, the wood paneled office of the attorney, and they go in there and, stern, but the guy gives a video, about, this is how I'm disposing of my assets. But that was a funny movie, but really think of how powerful that is to not only have a traditional old-fashioned will reading in the attorney's office or at the house, sitting around in the den, and then put on a DVD where mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather actually are telling the family, this is, I love you guys. This is how I want to dispose of my property, my assets, and this is why I've done it this way. I think that there's some other opportunities that in there also, besides just talking about how we're doing the will, to also talk about, think if you lived through World War II or, the Civil Rights Movement or other just really huge, the JFK assassination, what was your experience? How, so you can impart your experience, your history, I guess, of those events, your memories to your children and your grandchildren and beyond, and I guess, you could give those to people on a DVD.
Yes.
But, we live in a digital age as well. So that video could really, if it's digital video, could be on a USB drive for someone.
Sure. Or
exist in the cloud, or, they could really, it could be emailed around, or links to loved ones everywhere.
Absolutely.
To view at any time. And just think about how much wisdom you will have, I guess, once you've lived a full lifetime. I think it gives a senior a chance to impart to a younger generation your experience and why to do the right thing, your morality, your wisdom, and how to act in certain situations and why, things that they could look back upon to remember the way things were or the way things should be. I just think it's very powerful in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. And our personal history is history. It hurts me when somebody says, oh, God, I hate history. I was like, oh, no, really? Because your story is there. It's the story of us. How did we get from Selma, Alabama to now? Or how did we get from a little colony of troublemakers to one of the most powerful nations on the planet? And there's so that you can't grow if you don't know where you've come from, even if it's just a small little thing, something that seems insignificant.
Speaking of history, there's a saying, those who I guess ignore history or don't pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it. So that's what we want to prevent against, and to allow those experiences to go forward and not just be lost. Or to help those go forward. That's what a legacy video could do.
Certainly.
How would we make a legacy video for one of our clients?
I would see them in their home or have it in home, meaning here in the office. Just simply set up our equipment, talk. Maybe. So
it could be, you said, in their home or in the office.
Sure.
Okay. And go ahead. Sorry.
Just, have an old-fashioned tea party. Let's just sit, get comfortable with each other. Tell me about yourself. you grew up in 1929. I had this awesome patient who, her father grew ill. It was right before the stock market crash. Mother and little sister couldn't work. She took it on herself to take over the family business, and she was a success. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Tell me about it. And she would hang her head. And, she was ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the 1920s, a proper lady didn't go into the man's world.
Okay.
Now we've got Fortune 500 companies run by women.
Sure.
And I felt so bad for her. She made this great accomplishment, and she was embarrassed by it. So I was like, oh, man, and I wanted to hear, I was like, well, how did you do that? How did you, and it wasn't like it was a strip club or something cheesy. It was a legitimate business. I think it was textiles. And, she would just hang her head.
So the legacy video, she could have given
Yes.
Her story and imparted that to the women in her family at that time.
And
right?
how great
or
that
how
would
things,
have been.
how that, and they could see how things have changed and progressed.
Yeah. And how great that would have been, for just an underdog. I love the story about the underdog.
Sure.
I love the guy who came up from nothing and said, hey, you know what? Life has kicked me in the tush, then I'm coming back. I'm going to.
Absolutely.
And that was beautiful. And I really wish she would have opened up to me more about that.
Right. So it gives people the chance to open up and tell their story. Tell their story, to I guess to you and
Sure.
to the camera and the camera that's filming, and
Yes.
and that can be edited any way the senior sees fit.
Certainly.
To tell that story. So
Show it to them first. Maybe you don't want the kids to know everything about Shanghai. That's what editing's about. We'll just clip that out of there.
Okay. All right. So, well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and we're very excited to be working with you and producing and bringing to our clients legacy videos to go along with their estate plans and their plan to protect their assets and legacies. Okay.
It will be an awesome addition.
Thank
to
you
your
very
services.
much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
And ask us if we'll talk to you about it. I just cut it off, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I did. Ask us if you have any questions about our legacy videos, and we'd be glad to talk to you about them.